She looked and said, "Oh my God, is that a black card?" I took a pause and replied, "Why, yes, but I prefer the term African American Express. Game, power, and muscle, like Game, Diddy, and Russell. That's like one of the greatest things Kanye West has ever said. Ever." And I'd just like to take this first 2 minutes of the live to get that out the way. Anything you say can used again. Anything you say on the Juaso Live canon will be used against you in the court of public opinion. And if freaking Letitia, right? Shuri herself is being canceled. I need to bulletproof myself right now. Because the goal is to get as much bread with as little audience and as little clout as possible, so I can live the life that I want to live without having... Because, like, Ben Shapiro pays millions of dollars in freaking private security because people is on his head. I can't imagine paying millions of dollars in security that never gets used. I would purposely go to the hood and buy delicious food just so that my security people could actually earn their bread. Because there ain't no way I'm spending freaking $4 million a year on private security and not using any of that. J-Tune, welcome. How are you, my brother? How do you do? You actually probably are one of the best examples of people who operate on the internet in that perfect position of, like, not doing anything foul at all, but being able to have a whole bunch of fun. I never thought to study you before, outside of art, but in terms of, like, branding, I realized how strong your freaking branding game is. Oh, United, what's up with you, bro? How are you? You good? You been eating delicious food and taking care of your hair? I've been doing one of those things. Wait, United. This is where the fun begins, because we are going live with the Anime Nay tonight. And we are waiting for her so that she can come. But trying not to get canceled, I'm trying really hard. This is like, aside from hot girl anime, I've put myself in a very dangerous position. I'm talking to the Anime Nay, and then I'm talking to hot girl anime next, and I'm trying to be as least offensive as possible while still having these fire conversations, and I'm not sure if I can do it. So we're gonna see. I don't know. It's scary. It's freaking horrifying, yo. How can you have a fire conversation and be afraid of offending the person you're having a fire conversation with, when the entire point of a fire conversation is that y'all don't agree? Like, it's that you love the subject matter so much that despite the fact that you can't stand the person that's making your life difficult, you're still going to have the conversation to see what happens and possibly reach a resolution after 2.5 hours of passionate arguing. I don't know. The Anime Nay is going. Yes, she's finally going to come. See, I believe in representation. I just don't believe in freaking handouts. But she was dope, and that last hot girl anime post made me realize that she is also dope. And because they've proved themselves, they can come here. I haven't seen a lot of dudes that are, like, fire that I would like to have conversations with. Because there aren't. I don't know these people. Ultimately, that's what it comes down to. I don't really be on TikTok. I guess people is on TikTok, so being a native of Instagram. Instagram is the only place that I see. And my Instagram don't have no dudes on it. Because we don't do that over here. Dudes gotta be immensely skilled. And all of the immensely skilled dudes I know are freaking silent. Especially now. KLC boy, welcome. How are you? But, hey, you still getting immensely skilled. You're not up there yet, bro. Do I follow you? I'm not sure if I follow you. But you're still getting immensely skilled. You still got some work to do, bro. I'm glad you're good, princessa. Oh, snap. Do I not know how to say welcome in Japanese? Wow. Hold up. Sumimasen is most definitely not freaking welcome. I think that means sorry, actually. Wow. That's disappointing. Regardless, princessa, welcome. I've decided that when I get to Japan, I'm just going to be in Tokyo for 3 months. And then if I get extradited after that, that's on me. Because I need a free ticket home. So all I really got to do is pay for the ticket to Japan, stay there until I get deported, and I'll be cool. I'll come back to America with mad souvenirs. As long as the police let me bring a samurai sword with me, I'll be good. Hey, it takes effort in holding back certain comments when speaking to someone you disagree with heavily. But why? Why should I, like, if I already disagree with you, why can't I speak to you as if I disagree with you? Because you know I disagree. Like, we disagree with each other on a lot of things. Is that because we're men? Is that what you're saying? It's actually a very good point. Well, yeah, I think so too. I just don't know how rights are set up in Japan. Because there's a YouTube channel called Black in Japan. And the Black Experience Japan had this one dude who went to Japan, and he actually went to jail because he didn't even hit the dude, but he got into an argument with the dude, and so they threw him in jail, and then he got deported. And he didn't say he left anything in Japan. Aw, snap. He didn't say he left anything in Japan. So I guess he was allowed to bring things with him. But when you get deported, I don't know how many materials you can take. Because if you deport me, all I need is like 2 hoodies and a sword. I want to go to Japan and have a sword and just run around with that sword doing cool stuff. And I'm put the sword in like a guitar case, so I'll be running around and people will think that I have a guitar on my back, but it's really like 3 samurai swords, like I'm freaking Zoro. Let's see, where's the button? Hold up, I can't do the button? Alright, Anime, I'm gonna need you to hit that request button, yo. What you talking about? Oh, okay, so this is the plan for Japan, the Anime. This is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna go to Japan, go straight to Kyoto, because I don't care about Tokyo, and Tokyo was watched anyway because of COVID, because Asia got real COVID. American COVID is a lie, so that they can stick people with computer chips and stuff. But, like, Asia COVID is some real stuff. They've been wearing masks for freaking years, because people be making interesting decisions in their markets. Anyway, and so, I'm gonna go straight from freaking the airport to Kyoto, and I was just chilling Kyoto for like 3 months straight. It didn't give you the option to request? What? And I can't bring you into the live? Hold up. This is blasphemy. I can't freaking believe this. Wow. Well then. Do you like having your settings that people can't go live with you? That's freaking weird. Because I can't request you into the live. And I can't request KLC Boy into the live either. What? Hold up. Let's figure this out. Hold up. Alright. Boom. Oh, you gotta upgrade your app. You ain't been updating? You ain't got that new update? Go update your app so we can go live. I'm gonna need you to go get the new Instagram that got a weird liking system. This new Instagram update sucks. It legit has reels in the middle of it. And so on the Ninja account, I realized that because it has reels in the middle of it, making regular Instagram posts is stupid. So there's a woman with a very large amount of hair who I stole all of her sword moves from. And she has this hashtag. And so what I did was, I took over her entire hashtag. And all this month, I'm just going to keep posting with her hashtags, and my videos are going to get a bunch of views because she ain't got no time to do nothing, so that by the time she checks it, it's just going to be me all over the place. That's how I'm going to get Senpai to notice me. I'm going to take over her hashtag with quality content. People, welcome to the live. Oh yeah, getting deported from Japan. So, that's what we're going to do. We're going to go to Japan, chill in Kyoto, go to the Fushimi Inari Shrine, possibly go to that park that got the freaking deer in it, and then after we do all them things, oh, and I want that Wagyu on a stick too. I want Wagyu on a stick. Like, I'm vegan, but I'm gonna make an exception for Wagyu beef, and if it takes me out, I'm gonna go to heaven and be like, Jesus, it was worth it. So, I'm gonna go to Kyoto, stay there for 3 months, wear out my visa, bring a sword with me and get deported, and I'm gonna come back with a fire story too. Cause don't nobody know what it's like. Ain't none of these people been to freaking Japan, except for Senpai, and Senpai don't count because Senpai works at a freaking as an attendant, as an airline attendant. So that like she been everywhere, but she ain't experienced everywhere. She just been there because that's like her job. Like her job is to be on an airplane, just going all over the place. But in terms of like taking trips, ain't nobody from this world been to Japan yet, with the exception of the princessa, and she don't count because she hasn't come to the live yet. One day, but Save that for like 4 months from now, or whenever the heck you reach the ability to legally watch hentai. Who's my senpai? My senpai is the samurai. Without the samurai, I wouldn't know how to use a sword like swords are not meant to be used. And if I didn't know how to use swords the way that swords aren't meant to be used, then I wouldn't know how to use swords how swords are supposed to be used. Because the people who taught me how to use swords found me because I was doing stupidness with swords. So if I hadn't done stupidness, I wouldn't have the real stuff. I wouldn't have an appreciation of the real stuff if I had never done the stupidness first. So it balances out. I was going to make an exception for the red bean fish cakes again, but beef. I don't know about the red bean fish cakes. Put me on. I ain't never heard of these red bean fish cakes before. Also, you're freaking vegan? Your existence perplexes me. But red bean fish cakes, you say? Because I have red beans, like sweet red beans that I got from the freaking Asian market. I done had those in my pantry for like months now. Because I wanted to make onigiri with red bean paste. Because I initially made onigiri with like avocados in the middle, and I put black beans in the middle one time. But I wanted to have it with the bean paste because I'd never had the bean paste before. So when I Googled it, I realized that bean paste is legit just freaking. I'm thinking in Spanish. Wow, they're blended beans, like they're mashed red sweet beans. And so yeah, I have it, and I just haven't made it yet. But that's a whole lot of onigiri to just be making. So we're going to see what happens with that. Snap. We in here. And it begins. Not getting canceled. 3, 2, 1. Welcome.
Yo, I'm so weak because first off, where are you in New York? Where are you at?
I live in Philly, but I travel a lot.
Okay, see, I forget that I'm from Chicago, and I forget that not everybody lives in Chicago. So when I saw you were on live, I was like, "What are you doing on live at 4:30?" I was like, "Oh yes, he's probably in the East Coast." Then you never called me out. I'm literally old. Yes, I don't update my apps. I don't update my phone. We just out here. I was like, I don't know. It's not giving me the option to request. You said, girl, it told you, like, it said, like, her app is not.
Instagram ratted you out.
It ratted me out. Oh my gosh. Hello. What were you talking about? When I turned back on, I heard you talking about bean paste.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So I said, because I've been vegan my entire life, and anytime I tried to eat meat, it ain't gone well. Like I dang near died eating a chicken nugget when I was 4, so I'm sensitive about freaking meat. But when I go to Japan, I'm gonna make an exception for Wagyu, because Wagyu it's freaking Wagyu, and they got this place where you can get Wagyu on a stick for legit like $10.
I don't know. I feel like if you're vegan, you need to just go ahead and stay vegan. Because you're going to be in Japan, stomach upset. Talking about, yeah, I'm going to try it. No, that's not the time and place. Have you ever had it before? You've had it before.
Nah.
See, you've never had it before. You don't eat meat. And you're like, this is the time to try it? Oh my God. Yeah, I eat meat. Well, I eat chicken and turkey and fish. I don't eat beef or pork.
Good call.
I was pescatarian for a little bit, and it was too hard. It was the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. I
Yeah.
eat fries.
I feel like when you don't actually been able to taste greatness, separating yourself from greatness is a lot to be doing. And ultimately, having your lean fats and your protein is important.
It is? Do you take vitamins? You take a lot of vitamins?
Now I eat a lot of fruit, and like I be eating like
Okay.
orange peels and stuff. So I be getting the nutrients. It takes some extra steps.
So you said you've been vegan your whole life?
Hmm.
Is your family vegan too?
My dad is.
See, that's love. I was pescatarian, and everyone in my family was just making fun of me constantly for it. I was like, it's not really that much, y'all. Like, it's not that big of a deal. Like, my dad, like, if I went to eat with my parents, my dad would be like, y'all want to go to this restaurant? I'm like, yeah, let's go. He's like, well, wait, Lene, can you eat there? Can you find something there? I'm like, yes, I'm sure. Even if we go to a steakhouse, I could still find something to eat. But vegan, that's strong. Congrats.
Thank you. I've been trying very hard my entire life, and luckily I haven't passed out yet.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I feel like your page, you mainly do stuff around heroes and like comics and stuff, right?
Oh, dang, you've been to the actual page?
What you mean?
Oh, snap. Wow. Yes, you're absolutely right.
So what, you've been to the actual page? I'm cracking up.
Yes. Oh, I'll be forgetting people know. Because people legit be like, Juaso, you can draw. So anytime like somebody legit knows, I be shocked.
Yeah, and you be on live doing, I've seen you animating on live and stuff too, which I'm so jealous of. Fun fact about me, I can't draw to save my life. Like, I'm so serious. I took art class and it was not good. But I appreciate it though. That's why I have such a great appreciation for it, because I can't do it. I can't do it. Why are you looking like that? In your head, you're thinking, what?
There is no such thing as someone that cannot do art. Now, there are a lot of people that cannot do the art that they wish they could do, but everybody can do art.
That's true. That's true. But like drawing characters is not in my repertoire. I've tried.
If that's what you want to believe, good. Because the time that it takes to get the degree of capability that you may want is probably better used doing stuff that you're already really, really good at.
Yeah, I agree. I still be getting jealous though. I still be getting jealous.
That's me anytime I see somebody hit a skateboarding move. You don't know how hard I wanted to be able to skateboard. And after I broke one of my arms and I wasn't even skateboarding, I decided that wasn't the life for me.
I tried to learn how to skateboard one night. It was just one night. I had a friend who had a skateboard around. It's not too hard. I mean, I in a night was able to like glide for like a good 5 seconds and then get off.
Gliding is cake. Yo, have you ever used
cake.
Have you ever used a longboard? Because have you used a longboard first?
No, I have never used a longboard.
Longboarding is easier, more fun, and safer than skating. Because I used to longboard a lot until I went to the hood and got my longboard stolen. And then when I bought a skateboard after the fact, my friend gave it to me, and I fell off of it trying to turn the wheels because the axles are really stiff. But a longboard, you can carve and make like infinities and stuff when you do stuff.
I'm too scared. I won't even ride a bike for real. I really want a pair of... Huh?
No, you go.
I was gonna say I really wanted to learn how to roller skate, but even that, which one do you think is scarier, roller skating or skateboarding / longboarding?
Longboarding is way easier than skating, but you can't. It takes so much effort to dance and longboard as opposed to dancing and roller skating. And I don't know who this human is, but there's some amazing melanated queen who had the genius idea to start roller skating to amazing music on the timeline. And now just a whole bunch of people with glorious afros and melanin skating all over the place.
I know, that's what I'm talking about. I'm jealous. I've seen it as well. I want to join them. I want to be in on that group. but I can't do it. I've been roller skating like 3 times in my life. Roller skating though, I feel like it really does get in your body. Like once you have it, you kind of have it. But every time I would go and then not go for like a year. And then I would go and be Bambi again and then figure it out by the time I leave and then never go again for like 2 years. And now the last time I roller skated, I was like 13. I was 13. So yeah, it's been years, years and years and years. And will I ever get back on? There's more of a chance of me longboarding than roller skating, though.
Go for it. Because if you can figure out longboard dancing, you over everybody.
Talk about, yo, wait. That could be a thing.
See?
Oh, okay. Do you have a TikTok? You use TikTok?
I don't believe in TikTok. It's against my religion. I do have a TikTok, but
I just
yeah.
I was gonna say I had the app downloaded for like a month now, but I was one of the people that were like extremely anti, like, nah, I can't. I refuse. Like even when people would post their TikToks on Instagram, I would just be like, I don't want to see this. But my friends forced me to download it so they could send me stuff. So now I get on to watch, and some of the stuff is really funny to me. Some of it really is like creative and funny. So I think I'm gonna start. I think I'm about to, tap my toe in the pond a little bit.
And I will make sure to support you with this bread and these extra followers. And I look forward to seeing you succeed. I've realized that I don't need to be a personality. I get to exist as a freaking business. And so while people get to be people and do amazing things and make these amazing friendships and long-lasting bonds that will last forever like fairy tale, I can slide them some bread and shout them out and then go sit down somewhere and draw something.
No, I feel you. I feel you. Talking about long-lasting friendships like on Fairy Tale. Speaking of Fairy Tale is one of those shows that I feel like I stumbled across and didn't know what I was getting into until I was in it. And I didn't realize that so many people like and watch Fairy Tale.
Yeah, because we were looking for a third. After Bleach went down, we were looking for something that could replace it. And if you came on to anime before Boruto, Fairy Tale was your only real option for a long-running shonen. Because aside from that, you had like Blue Exorcist, you had Soul Eater, which everybody stopped watching and then came back to later, and Sword Art Online. And the reputation of Sword Art Online is pitiful.
It's awful. It's terrible.
Yeah.
But okay, I can't pinpoint what makes Fairy Tale so good to me. Like when people ask me, should I watch it? I don't know what answer to give them. Like I don't know how I feel about it, to be honest. I love it, but at the same time, I don't know if I recommend it. Like I don't know if I would recommend it to someone who doesn't really enjoy anime. Does that make sense?
I think you're right. Fairy Tail is the perfect anime for a young anime fan because it's just the tiniest bit more complex than Naruto. Because One Piece is too dense. Dragon Ball is too simple. It's like, in terms of simplicity, it's like Dragon Ball, Naruto, Fairy Tail, then One Piece, then Death Note, then Attack on Titan.
Yeah, but honestly, like Death Note, Attack on Titan they're like so far up here compared to like the complexities of everything else. Like I can't even do you watch Attack on Titan, but like kind of, right? Or you couldn't get past a couple, like the first couple episodes or something like that. Did you say that?
Season 2 when they were in the snow, and it was just them two girls in the snow for like 5 episodes.
Oh
straight.
my god, you're lying. They was not in the snow for 5 episodes. You're
How
lying.
long were they in the snow?
It was one flashback. It was, now granted, it did take up most of the episode, which did blow me. I was like, y'all really could have given us this in probably 2 minutes or less. But he's talking about I couldn't get past them in the snow. That's so sad because the next episodes after that were bussing. They were amazing. But
that's what it taught me. It taught me that if an anime is going to have a whole bunch of episodes, I can't watch it episode by episode. I have to watch it because, like in Attack on Titan, in episode 1 of season 2, where Homegirl is in the freaking crystal thing and she's stuck there and they can't get through the crystal thing. I was like, when the heck did this happen? But that is because I skipped the beginning of Attack on Titan, so I didn't know who she was. I came into on like episode 6 when like the cool stuff started happening.
You can't do that.
Yeah,
you can't do that. Yes, yeah. This is not like, you know how in Naruto, like I feel like Shippuden is the perfect example of this, where you really can skip episodes and be totally okay. Totally okay. This is not like that. Like, you talking about who is Homegirl in the ice? Talking about, you know what, let me just skip the first 5 episodes. Yeah, I feel like the first 5 episodes were so good.
They were. After I went back, because I had to go back to understand it, and that's when it got good. And then I got tired of it. But the first season of Attack on Titan is great.
The first season of Attack on Titan is great. Now I'm gonna just tell you. Now everyone says this, but the third season is better. So if you thought the first season was great, I say you go back to it. Get past the snow. You gotta just get past the snow, and you'll be thankful that you did.
I think you're right, because I waited. I didn't watch season 3 of Attack on Titan because I was watching Crunchyroll, and the advertisements for season 3 were Homegirl got the cowboy hat, and then the people are doing the freaking Titan fights, but they're not fighting Titans, they fighting people, and they got guns and stuff. I was like, I need to watch this, but I knew the same thing happened.
No, the season, no, like seriously, season 3 goes down a whole new, like, the complexities of what's going on. I'm not gonna lie, and again, I really do think I'm a decently intelligent person, but I was watching season 3 like, what is going on? I watched it so many times, like, and I really am like a true nerd, and I will type shit out like, okay, so this just happened, and then this, like, season 3 is a mess. But I feel like you'll have a, okay, do you understand the whole like do you understand, okay, if someone's a king and then overthrowing a king, like, do you understand like the whole, like, all of that,
like how monarchies work?
Yes.
Yeah.
Talking about how monarchies work. Yes, that is the word I was looking for. So if you understand that, you're good. I personally, I was like, why are they doing this? Why does this matter? But if you'll, it's just good. I don't want to say too much. I'm already saying too much. Just watch it. Just watch it.
All right. I will eventually watch Attack on Titan, and by the time I do, I'll be caught up when the finale happens and everybody's crying and Eren has long hair and he can finally fight as a Titan and stuff, and he does a whole bunch of morally questionable things, and people have lived and people have died. And when all that happens, then you will be to thank for it, and I will publicly credit you for understanding what the heck is going on in Attack on Titan.
Okay, so to be honest though, as an anime watcher personally, I really am the type of person to want to, I'm a binger too. Like, there are very few shows that I will watch it week to week. Like, I can't lie. As much as I like something like My Hero or something like that, I can't watch it. Or even Black Clover, I cannot watch it week to week. I need at least 3 or 4 episodes to be built up. I just feel like it's not enough going on. Like, I feel like Attack on Titan, I don't want to watch it week to week because it's so suspenseful. Like, I want to, like, it's like, oh, dang, like, so much happened in this episode. I want to see more. Like, I think that's the difference. Like, Attack on Titan, so much happens in an episode that it makes you want to see more, whereas opposed to, like, you know, some other animes is like, nothing happened in this episode. I waited all week to see nothing get done.
That was me with Dr. Stone.
Oh no, you never. That was you with Dr. Stone.
Yes, cause you don't make me wait 7 days. You know what I can do in 7 days? And no, I took my entire freaking week to prepare and sit down and watch this freaking show. And you want to tell me about your dad and how 5 people repopulated the earth? And all these people were freaking white people too. Got an entire earth of freaking white people in Japan that got turned into stone.
Ooh, yeah, I didn't even think about that. Oh, I didn't even think about that. Yikes. Dang, yeah. I see. I binged Dr. Stone. Like I watched all however many 20 whatever episodes in like 3 days. There is no way I could have watched that week to week. Binging it all is a great plan, dude. I couldn't watch Dr. Stone week to week.
Not a good move, because you'll forget the most insignificant thing, and then the next episode they'll treat it like it's the most significant thing, and then the episode after that they'll act like it doesn't matter. Like homie with the freaking magic, how he's supposed to be dope, and I thought he was a joke because they played him as a joke in the episode where he came.
Yeah. No, he's kind of a confusing character to me because I also kind of felt like he was kind of a joke, but no, he's definitely very serious. He's definitely a very serious character. I don't know how much more we can get from him, but honestly, I like the show Dr. Stone now. I feel like it's very well written, and I respect the fact that I feel like so much research has to go into that show.
Absolutely, Boichi is a genius. He's my favorite manga artist author of all time, and his entire trajectory
Really?
is really, yeah. Boichi also did Sunken Rock, if you've ever heard of it.
I haven't.
Oh, it is the
Hold on.
greatest action manga of all time. Like it's like Kenichi. No, it's Sun in terms of like seinen. It's the greatest seinen action manga of all time. Because his anatomy is perfect, his dynamism is perfect, his writing is gripping, his storytelling is amazing, his character design is iconic, and he draws with these characters who have these eyes. And the best part about Dr. Stone is he condensed everything that he does stylistically in seinen, and he put it in the shonen. Because initially Boichi did this one thing that I forgot about, and then the second thing he did was a hentai, and then the third thing was Sunken Rock, which is like half of a hentai, but it's not really a hentai, but it's hentai is because Boichi's a freaking freak. And then after that, he came into shonen, was like, well, now that I've made my bones on old people, let's give these kids some heat. And that's why everybody in Dr. Stone is amazingly designed and drawn.
Okay. Nice. That is the type of stuff that I want to know. That is the type of stuff that I want to know because their character design is like everyone's is flawless to me. Now, I am interested to see where this story is gonna go, to be honest. Like I don't you've seen the whole season.
Nah.
You haven't?
I hopped off on the episode with the lightning because it made me cry. And when an anime makes me cry, I have to take a break from it because we don't do it. Dude.
Oh my god. I don't do it. I came here to forget my problems. Why are you making me cry?
Exactly.
Like, no, but it's literally you definitely go to anime like, you know what? Let me just go and watch a little anime real quick. Being halfway in the episode, like
yes. I skipped to the last episode. There was this girl in freaking middle school that I liked, and I was like, what anime do you like? And she was like, I like Clannad. So I was like, bet, I'm going to watch Clannad. And the first episode was boring, so I said, bump this. I'm skipping to the last episode. So I skipped to the last episode of Clannad, and I don't know if it was the music or the acting or what, but I was just flooded.
Have you ever? So I know for like absolutely you cried watching Naruto though. Like
nah, Naruto never hit me. Because here's the thing about Naruto: I skipped everything before Shippuden, and then I read all of Shippuden. So I didn't watch any of Naruto. So I just felt anger anytime something stupid would happen. Like when freaking Jiraiya died, I was like, oh, that sucks. But because I never read part 1, I didn't care about Jiraiya as a character. I cared about like Nagato. And I cared about like all the like fringe manga characters, like Shisui. Like all the Uchihas were like my favorite people, and I already know what happens to the freaking Uchihas. So even when Itachi died, I was sad, but I've never cried for a manga before. But in terms of anime, No Game No Life hit me really hard. Fullmetal Alchemist hits me really hard. Fairy Tail got me a bunch of times. And Romance anime always hit me in the feels.
I be crying. I can't lie. I've cried on Attack on Titan, but Attack on Titan is just so sad to me. Naruto, constant tears, like constant tears. I think it's seeing his face animated and like quivering. It was the moment he met his mom. Oh wait, nah, it don't matter. Do it. Should I?
I
Should
thought
I
you
say?
didn't happen in Naruto. He met his mom when he was in the phone in the Nine Tails.
Right. I
Yeah.
was like, what? Do you know? But yes, that I literally was bawling in my room. I believe I'm crying over this fictional character for real. Like I feel for Naruto. His little whiskers. Okay, please tell me this if you know. This is the one thing about Naruto that I've never understood. Why does he have whiskers? And you can't tell me it's because he has the nine tails in him. It's because he has the nine tails. That's why he has whiskers.
Yeah.
That's so odd. That is so odd. Like, does anyone else have a crazy bodily feature because of their tail bees? Or like he's the only person.
You're not wrong. I want to know why the heck Boruto has whiskers. That's the
That's what
freaking
I literally
question.
was about to say. Does Boruto also have whiskers?
And
He
Himawari
does.
has whiskers for some reason. That's the thing that's stupid to me. Because even if they were like born with Nine Tails chakra, it still doesn't make sense. Because Nine Tails Minato doesn't have whiskers.
Naruto. Yeah. And see, that's one of those details that I get stuck on that I don't need to get stuck on. Like that's something that will haunt me. And then I'm like, why did they make that choice? Like, I feel like he would have been cool without it.
I agree, but like if you think about it, Gaara's forehead tattoo, I think he was born with that.
Okay, yeah, I think you're right. Okay,
And
I would much rather be born with a forehead tattoo than with
I'm
these
gonna take the whiskers.
whiskers. What you don't watch Boruto do you? Do you read
Nope.
Boruto?
No, we don't do
Mm.
that over here. Until Kawaki come. When I can binge Kawaki episodes, that's when I'm gonna hop on Boruto.
I've seen the first like 20 some episodes and I can't even tell you what happened. I don't remember a thing. I
Weak.
wasn't.
Because this is the worst thing about the freaking Boruto anime. They gave us 2 Boruto movies. They gave us a whole prequel manga, and they still felt the need to give us stories we already saw in the movies and in the manga. Like, didn't want to give us any of the cool stuff. Like the freaking Shin Uchiha. This man, Orochimaru, made an entire clan of cloned Uchihas, and we don't hear about that till like 40 episodes later in the anime.
Okay, someone else told me that I've never seen the movie, but by the time I like the movie was in my sphere, they were like, "Don't watch the movie though if you plan on watching the anime because a lot of it is in the anime." And so I didn't watch the movie in hopes that I would watch the anime and like eventually grow into it, but I just can't. I've tried multiple times. I don't know. Should I just watch the movie? I might just watch
Yes,
the
why
movie.
it's better. It's better and it's shorter. And why do you think in anime movies don't nothing new be happening? It looked like they be just giving us the same things we done already seen with like 20 extra minutes of content.
That's true. That's true. That is true. The I feel like the best anime movie I've seen
Oh,
is My Hero.
oh, really now?
Yeah, but I will say I don't watch a ton of anime movies though. I don't because I don't want anything to be ruined for me for the show. But My Hero, the last one that came out in like February, I think that was like early March maybe or something like that. But that movie was good. It was good. It was good. It was great.
Huh.
You talking about, huh? What's the best one you've seen?
Well, here's the problem. I watch anime movies that don't have shows attached to them. So like, yeah,
Um,
you gotta be thinking about Ninja Scroll and Akira and freaking the Cowboy Bebop movie. I'm not gonna put that up
mm,
against Naruto the Last because his relationship with
yeah.
Hinata also made no sense because I never saw part one, and Hinata did exactly 2 things in the entire series.
You talking about, yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I will say Naruto as a franchise, I feel like the women are not, they're not doing very much. They're cool, but they're not doing very much. Even one of the biggest arcs that Hinata was a part of, her role in it was getting slammed by Pain. Like everyone always brings up Hinata and like when she ran out when Naruto was fighting Pain and Naruto being like, no, stop, like that whole thing, which I also cried during. But I was like, but we have to see though that she's not beating him though. She's getting beat up.
Yeah.
So yeah, that doesn't rub me the right way. But it's all good though, I guess.
Well, that's how My Hero Academia did everything that Naruto did, but just better.
I would agree. But okay. I will say that I mainly compare most animes like that to Naruto. Like nothing so far has given me the same feeling that Naruto has. I
It
have to say.
won't. Because think about the time that Naruto came out, what your life was like when Naruto came out, and what
Mm-hmm.
exists as a result of Naruto now.
That's real. That's real. Little 12-year-old Lene watching Naruto, the feeling just doesn't compare. Even now, like I rewatched Shippuden. I want to say like a year and a half ago now. Um, and it just feels so different. It just feels so different. One of my friends tweeted, and she like had never watched Naruto, but she started watching it as an adult, and she was like, Naruto makes me feel dot dot dot, and she just wrote like a whole bunch of emojis and was like, I don't even know how to describe it, and I was like, yeah, like it just all the like everything, like for real. Every time Naruto was like, believe it. Like I do believe it, Naruto. Damn, I do. Like yes, believe it. But it's crazy to me how much I relate to Naruto almost more now as an adult than I did as a kid. Like, I feel like as a kid, me and my Western world did not understand fully what it meant for him to not have a family and have to prove to, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, want to prove to all these people who he is and, like, to have this big goal of being Hokage. Like, I think me as an adult, I mean, me as a kid did not, like, really feel that. But me as an adult watching that, I'm like, yes, Naruto, I feel you. Like, it just, I feel like it hits me a little differently. Hits me a little differently now.
Yeah, I think Naruto being so long, the prime benefit of that is you get to see him develop over a long period of time. So like
Mm-hmm.
because he's basically a loner and a loser for like 50 to 75 episodes, you feel that. So anytime he gets incrementally better or stronger, like my favorite Naruto episode, I saw it when I was like 7 years old, and I was in a hotel in Florida because life is interesting sometimes. So we were in a hotel in Florida, and reading Cartoon Network was on, and my mom was knocked out. And it's the episode where he learns to do the Rasengan, and he gets the water balloon, and he has to make the chakra do stuff in the water balloon. And that
Mm-hmm.
episode hit me so much years later that I didn't even know I was copying Naruto. But I had a water balloon, and I was just shaking it, trying trying to make it explode.
I'm weak. That is a great episode. But do you see what I'm saying? Like, how I really just think, like, how did someone write that? That water balloon episode was so good.
It's as I'm getting more into writing, I'm realizing it's making the metaphor as clear as possible, but making the
Yes.
differences as wide as possible. So, like when you look into mythology, for example, if you look into Greek mythology, Medusa is like this evil monster and stuff. But you don't conquer this evil monster by just killing her. You conquer this evil monster by not being seen, and the only way that you can see her is by looking into an external object. And then you have to do so much calculation. You can't defeat the monster unless you're the most capable person in the world. That's like what Medusa means. But the simplicity of it is there's a monster that turns you to stone when she looks in your eyes.
Damn. Yeah.
Yeah. So you make you make the metaphor as simple as possible, but make the things that you're comparing as distant as possible.
Okay. So you don't have to tell me what it is, but I mean, you might not. Do you have, okay, if I gave you a budget and was like, give me an anime and not necessarily like a completed drawn out like all of that, but like a concept of everything, like if I was like, give me an anime in a day, you could do it?
I have 6 ready to go right now, and I could probably.
Oh, okay, hold on. Whoa,
Yeah.
whoa, 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 whoa. You said I have 6 ready to go right now.
Yeah, because when you write, all of your characters have their stories, and their characters have other stories, and so you end up with a multiverse if you sit down in the world of your characters and explore it. And so, like, the first character was like this African child soldier, but then as I was studying African child soldiers, I realized, snap, that would be kind of stereotypical. So I made him a Caribbean child soldier because I learned about like Jamaica in the 70s and the shower posse and stuff. And then that led me to like the relationship between the Caribbean community and the Hispanic American community. And as I was starting to speak Spanish and stuff, I was gaining experiences in that avenue where, like, as a person that comes from being African American, if somebody calls you a Negro, you're like, hey, what the heck you just called me? But like if a Hispanic man calls you a Negro, that doesn't necessarily mean nothing bad. He's just calling you that because that's how you look, because that's the culture. And so putting it, so yeah, and again, that's the whole thing of metaphor. So effectively, the child soldier being brought into Western culture by a Hispanic man, and then learning how to operate under different cultural contexts, even though in this case it's through the theater of war and learning martial arts and stuff. That's the same thing that I'd experienced in like being taken out of Georgia and having to be in these different segments of America and these different cultures that existed, and learning the cultural rules so that I could operate with them without being killed. Because unfortunately, when you don't know things, you're in a dangerous position of you're putting your life on the line simply by communicating wrong. So it's that same thing with the metaphor I was talking about before, but your lived experience and the experience of your characters is parallel to each other. When you can see that, you can play with that. And so, yeah, you naturally grow a bunch of stories out of those experiences and explorations as time goes on, if you're willing to put in the time to understand what your characters are feeling and thinking and what they're going through.
Yes, and that sounds like a great writer. Honestly, 100%. I need you to go forth and create, because you're talking about sitting within the psychology and philosophies of these characters. I'm like, yes, do that. We need the products.
Thank you. And that's
okay.
Yeah, that's what's being worked on right now. Like Avatar, she just pulled up here. Avatar's helped me with a thing about Haiti, and it's basically the Haitian Revolution with magic. And so it's like takes place from the concept of slaves, but it's not a slave story because none of their stories revolve around them being slaves. It instead revolves around them being Haitian and what that means and what their culture is, and how they get at, sort of like in the story, only women can do magic, but men can get like temporary enchantments, but they don't passively have magic like women do. And so because of that, the relationships between men, the system between men and women is that men have to protect the women so that magic can be secured, but women need men to do the craziness because they can't risk themselves because they're so powerful. And so because you have that dynamic there, when you get into relationships or friendships or interactions between the two, there's this subtext that exists in the story that otherwise you wouldn't have, because societally also, yeah, it's a lot of things. But yeah, so working on it. Gonna have some cool stuff.
Somebody wrote that you're a genius and they expect big things from you in the future. All I'm saying is RT, retweet, because I'm listening like, hell yeah. I want to literally watch this right now. What? Okay, so you're obviously digging deep within this, which makes me happy. What trope are you tired of seeing in anime? Like, what's something that you're like, I don't ever have to see this again?
I'm tired of the pervert that doesn't learn his lesson. Purely because the dude, like, the concept of hypermasculinity gets played with a lot in anime. And so you have people like Elfman and Fairy Tail who are like big manly men, but they also like frolic in flowers and stuff. or like you have homie from Full Metal Alchemist with the big blonde beard mustache, and like
Right.
happy sometimes too, but he'll also knock you out with freaking brass knuckles. So in terms of hypermass, because again, the societies are different. So when you think about what happened, what people get away with in Japanese culture and society, and how that's explored through anime, harassment is like the thing that I least like about Japanese media, be it anything from their novels to their video games to their animation. After harassment and the way that they operate with women, because again, like the '90s jacked up Japan so much because they basically overinflated their job market, and so their economy crashed. So people became like salarymen and like were ready to die for their company and stuff. So then the Yakuza bailed out the Japanese government and instituted a new system of economics, and that's why we have mixed martial arts now, because the Yakuza needed to give people an escape, and they chose that escape would be mixed martial arts. And so you had people kickboxing and stuff on television. That's where the new economic development came from. But anyway, yeah, harassment and the relationship between women in Japanese media is the thing that I dislike the most. So in terms of tropes, it would be all the things associated with that.
I would agree, but like you saying the pervert that never learns his lesson. Like that is completely a thing. I don't know why there's never a moment of growth. Like I feel like that character in most anime that I've seen, that character, I say maybe with the exception of Seven Deadly, but I feel like the character that is chosen to be the one that is the pervert never really grows at all. And if they do, it never ever is in that aspect
Exactly.
at all. Why? How is that still a thing? Is what I'm really trying to grasp with.
It's the same way that when you look into a lot of African American media, there's the
Mm-hmm.
character that self sabotages their relationships in an effort to feel strong. That person never really stops doing that. Even if they lessen that, that's still always a part of their personality.
That's true, but I feel like that is a little bit more of a complex thing to deal with. Okay, give me an example of that. Give me an example of that in a show or in a movie or something.
Um, there's wow. Name a show with a strong women protagonist. There is your answer.
Okay, and what's crazy is my first thought was, what's the show like Gabrielle Union? I can't remember.
Oh, is it
Being
Scandal?
Mary Jane?
Oh, being
No,
married.
we're talking about Scandal. Kerry Washington. That's Kerry Washington. But okay, yes, yes. But I feel like that's something that's like that's harder to like work through. I feel like being a pervert is so easily like I'm not saying that's not hard to get to work through either. I mean, I'm sure it is. But like that's something that I feel like is just so easy to address.
That's where
It's like,
cultural context comes into effect. Because when you look at
true.
Japanese culture, the people like, because because they jacked up their interpersonal relationships. A lot of people have transactional relationships when it comes to the opposite, or they have arranged situations when it comes to the opposite gender. And so in Japan, a lot of dudes will do stuff in like, and also there's also like they don't nothing happens to a lot of these dudes that do these things. So there's nothing for them to worry about unless they do some craziness. And oftentimes these perverts aren't the ones doing some craziness. And that's where it upsets me. But because with cultural context, that's where I have to let it go. It's because in America, like you'll legit never be able to get a job again doing that nonsense because you'll be reported. Whereas in Japanese or in Japan, it might not be the same thing.
Yeah, it's just interesting that I mean, yeah, now that you're bringing up cultural context, that is very true. And it's interesting how, so like in my normal everyday life, I am mega girl power. I mean, when I'm watching anime too, but the fact that in anime, I, for lack of a better word, put up with certain things that in like if I was just watching if I was just watching TV, I would never watch a show that has some of the same like tropes and just idiosyncrasies that anime has. But the fact that like I can watch an anime and watch Jiraiya, for example, be literally pervy as hell and somehow still love his character. But I mean, I guess that just speaks to how well written these characters are. But that actually like kind of just skeeved me out. Like I really watched Jiraiya. Like I love Jiraiya. I love his character. I've never said anything bad about him, even when he's at his perviest. And I'm still now thinking about it, I'm like, whoa, that's not okay. Whoa.
Well, you're smart, so you understand suspension of disbelief. And being someone that understands suspension of disbelief, you're not watching the show to have a perfect representation of the way the world should be. You're watching the show to be absorbed in that world. So the rules of that world are different than the rules that exist here. As a smart person, with openness, with someone that has an adaptive mind, you can absorb the good in something while kind of letting the non-good slip by.
Yeah, especially I feel like especially in something like anime, and that's honestly one of the things I love about it. I feel like it does a great job of tapping its toe, or not even tapping its toe, but fully having real world themes that people. I was laughing with somebody like, is there any anime that race does not come up? Like, is there any anime that doesn't tackle the theme of race at least a little bit? I feel like it does that, but without completely drowning you in sorrow and in depression. You know what I mean? Like I can watch Naruto, or let me think of an anime that really does a good job of this. Because Attack on Titan, I'd be sad as hell watching that. But let me think. I mean, I guess something even like Fairy Tail or oh no, One Piece for sure. One Piece will talk about any and every social issue, but without me feeling like, wow, this world is really a terrible place. Um, and that's one of the reasons why I feel like I don't understand when people are like, anime is too childlike and blah, blah. I'm like, where are you getting that from?
They don't have that same openness and that. Legit, unfortunately, I hate to be the one to say it, but everybody ain't got the same brain. Like, that's why I got to stay off freaking Twitter, because it's a bunch of people with different brains confusing the mess out of each other and getting each other triggered. And then it can become a cycle of bad energy. But yeah, everybody ain't got the same brain. The great thing about cultural context and also our perception of not allegory, what's the word, archetype, there we go, our perception of archetype is that when I look at Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood and I see the Ishvalans, I think of colonialism and its effect on all of Africa, whereas when other people look at it, they see the effect of the United States in the Arabian Peninsula, and other people look at it and they'll see Native Americans and European settlers, because we all have these different perspectives. So I don't think it's not necessarily that every anime tackles race, but I think anime uniquely is really good at hitting these archetypes that have existed forever in all of our experiences, and doing it in a way where there's generally a note of hope, or if not a hope, a note of survival for the people at the root of it.
Absolutely.
Sour Love said is geared towards children. Sour Love, you obviously don't know what the heck yokai watch is if you gotta ask a question like that.
Man, I'm trying to. What's the What is the most childlike anime that you've ever? I'm trying to think of an anime that I'm like, yeah, this is definitely for kids. I can't watch this. I don't believe that there is one.
Pokemon, Yokai Watch. That's about it. Oh, there's this one, Tiger and Bunny. What else? Freaking Snap. Oh, Infinite Revolution, Concrete Revolution. That's the fourth one. A lot of the ones that are like Sentai are like kid shows. Beyblade. There we go. I my
Mm,
own question. Dang, Sour.
yeah. Somebody said One Piece.
One Piece is not geared towards children, but
No.
it exists. It was it's made for shonen. Like the ideal age for shonen is like kids like 10 to 14. And once you turn 10, your mind can grasp complex concepts. So you give people medicine and candy, and as they grow older with your invention, you can hit them with more complex topics.
Yeah. I mean, One Piece for me, kind of from the get go, was very well. I mean, yeah. Again, how are these writers writing about such complex? Not how are they doing it, but I'm so inspired by them, and I'm just in such disbelief that they're able to write about these complex adult issues, but to make it so that it's digestible for kids, entertaining for kids, digestible and entertaining for adults. And I think all age groups can actually learn valuable lessons from all of this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, anime, all of these thoughts are coming to me literally right now, but I really think anime might be, for me at least, the only genre that really does that really well.
Yeah, because they don't have to worry about like the beautiful thing about the animation system in Japan is that one company makes a lot of things. So Naruto will pay for an anime that has like amazing animation and writing and music and stuff. But Naruto is paying for it. Or what happens even more than that is that hentai is paying for like 6 different anime. So you don't have to
Mm-hmm.
worry about if Blu-rays are selling or if merch is selling because you already got your cash cow. And then your sub projects, they're being fueled by like the music that's being played or the convention things that are happening with the licensed product. And so in Japan, you can get really high quality stuff and not have to worry about if it does well commercially. Whereas in America, you have one product and everything comes from that one product. So like in the early 2000s, we were blessed because we got Justice League Unlimited, Batman animated series, Superman the animated series. We got freaking X-Men Evolution. We got Spectacular Spider-Man, all the animated Marvel. Like in terms of 2D, like superhero stuff, we were good in the early 2000s. But then in the 2010s, they had to start like selling toys and merch and stuff. And this is when the internet made it so that people weren't buying toys as much, people weren't buying DVDs as much. A lot of the stuff that we were paying for previously was free now, and so we were kind of screwed, like business wise. And so people had to make a lot of decisions based on business, and that's why you started getting like really simple animated shows. And everybody was doing flash animation. The character designs regressed, and the writing also regressed because people had to appeal to the audience bases that were giving them money. And unfortunately, as Netflix has shown us, that's a lot of either A, edgy shows, B, rip-off Seth MacFarlane shows, or C, well-written but simply animated shows that touch on angst so that people can get Hot Topic t-shirts like Rick and Morty or Steven Universe. Rick and Morty and Steven Universe are probably the best example of well-written but cheap shows that are very commercially successful.
Yeah, 100%.
Ben
Woo!
10 and Teen Titans. Look at you, Sour Love, knowing things. This is why I don't slander you.
Ben 10 and Teen Titans.
Been sleeping on Ben 10's animation so hard, forgetting it's a whole anime.
What's the worst animation you've ever seen? Like, what's.
I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. Freaking Devilman Crybaby.
Oh, Devilman Crybaby. You think that's the worst animation you've ever seen?
It hurt my eyes to look at it because it's ugly. It's not even that it's bad. It's just ugly. Like it. Ugh. It's like okra. It's like okra for my eyes.
You talk about okra. You gotta never say okra. Okra? Well, for me, okra's bad. It's just bad all around. Ochre dang near looks better to me than it is. So I don't know. I feel you though. I feel you though. I mean, how do you feel about? I don't know. Well, how do you feel about Black Clover animation then?
The animation, well, again, because I use technical terms because I do stuff. So do you mean like the movement as in the animation, or do you mean like the illustrative ability of the animators?
I mean the movement.
Oh, yeah. Black Clover's animation generally isn't. It's like fairy tale. Like it's one because the production pipeline of anime that are like long running shonen is that they'll have a whole bunch of different studios working on a bunch of different parts of episodes, and that's why like some cuts will be amazing. It's because like the
Mm-hmm.
Michael Jordan of animation is doing it, and then other cuts will be trash because some freaking 19-year-old did it and they got paid $20 to do it, and they didn't sleep for 2 weeks to get it done. So I think Black Clover has a lot of very inconsistent animation, but nothing is as bad as Seven Deadly Sins season 2.
Okay.
Maybe season 3. Was it season 3? One of them had trash
I
in it.
feel like you're talking about season 2.
Yeah.
But okay. I don't know. Maybe it's because I already wasn't a super like when I first started, as most of the people who know me know, when I first started Black Clover, I was so against that. As I even now I'm watching it and I like it. It's still like I just notice the animation so much more. Like out of all animes that I watch, anything I've ever seen, that to me, I think because in my head, if Black Clover is supposed to be all that it's cracked up to be, it's this amazing show. They're trying to show off these like amazing magic powers and all these crazy moments. I'm like, why is this animation? Like, why is this part so terrible? Like, how did this slip through the cracks? Literally just blurs of red, like spark of yellow on. I'm like, and like I said, I don't animate. I've again, drawing is not my forte, but one of my older brothers used to animate and I would watch him do it and I would see all the work that he would put into it. But again, he was like a kid back then. And I feel like some of that was even better than what I see Black Clover sometimes. Like if you click pause on any moment in Black Clover, it might be a catastrophe. Like
Oh,
it might
dang.
be like
Snap. Well, that sounds quite unfortunate.
I'm like, oh my God, that's how y'all chose to animate this? But I understand that though. I understand that. I mean, big shows like that is just not as simple as it is Black Clover, so it should just all be up to par. But
I think you're right. But as I've started getting animation jobs, there's a thing called bumping the lamp. And bumping the lamp was coined by the people that made Roger Rabbit, where there was a scene where he's like in the sink and then he hops out the sink and he hits a lamp. And in real life, they made the lamp move. That's the amount of care they took into that scene. And so I think if you, as an animator, have the time to do it, that it's a part of your job to make sure that a good job is freaking done. Because I was watching Seven Deadly Sins with my friends, and there's a cut where Meliodas is supposed to be flying, and he looks like a fly. He just goes in a perfect horizontal line.
no, no.
Hey, that is your living wage. This isn't the $200 that I get for a freaking 1 minute short. This is your living wage. You buy your onigiri and sushi with this, and this is what you give me.
You buy your own experiences. Yeah, man. Yeah. But I guess again, just I don't know the deadlines. I don't know the kind of pressure these people are under. Even the fact that the 2021 lineup is like, everyone's been posting about 2020 lineup, all this stuff. I'm like, okay, wait, let's backtrack though. We're literally in an entire pandemic. How are all of these shows being produced right now? Like, what is the quality of these shows about to be? Is what my thought is. But we'll see. We'll see.
That we will. Because I'm interested to see. Because if you can have animators that are working from home, I think you should be able to pay them more. Like I don't.
Okay.
My dad started working from home, and his like pay got cut. And it doesn't make sense how if you're not paying for the place that you have people working out of, why the heck would it cost more money to have employees?
Yeah, I've never heard of that. I have not heard of that.
Yeah,
That's awful.
yeah, and a lot of people are getting pay cuts and they're working longer hours because they're not at the office. Which ironically, because it would seem to make sense that if it takes you an hour to commute, an hour to get back, and you work for 8 hours, that you not having to commute will make your days shorter. But in fact, for a lot of people, they end up working more, I guess because there's not that separation between their office and their home. And there's more of an expectation because now people are working on their clocks instead of the company's clock. It's really confusing. That's why I'm glad I don't have a job. Like, if it ever gets bad, I'm going to draw hentai, buy these avocados, and be set. Not going to have me out here in no freaking office building. But
Talking about you not gonna have me. I mean, I feel you, and if you can accomplish that, 100. But listening to you, what I'm hearing from you from tonight is you just need to. I don't know what you need to do. These anime ideas, we need them. We need them. We need them animated and put out into the world. Do you have a Patreon? You need to get that Patreon going.
I don't. I need to sell out first. I can't sell out because I'm busy. When I'm not like, this is the plan because it's all been thought of. So effectively what people do, like what artists do when they want to get their projects funded, is they make a whole bunch of fan art. Basically, this is how you as an artist get on. It's really easy. Hot girls fan art. That's all you got to do. Hot girls fan art, light networking. And light networking is just drawing people for free. Effectively, all the networking as an artist is, you either make a whole bunch of stuff for free or you make a bunch of stuff that's equivalent to doing free art because you can't make money off of it because if you do, you'll get sued. So as a result, those artists will go do the hot girls fan art and light networking by drawing other people, giving people sketches, and then like liking other people's stuff. So as a result, their name in the art community goes, and also the name in the nerd community goes, and after that, a whole bunch of people know them. And eventually, they see, I see what this fan art is like. What's this regular art like? And then the person goes and they make their own separate thing, and then that's the thing that gets funded and stuff. So the way to bypass that, luckily, has already been done, which is a website. The website is not a website for people to sell clothes. The website is a trap for your email. And once I have your email,
it's a trap for your emails. Spam people with emails. Talking about, I know you came for this T-shirt, but bump the T-shirt. Listen to the emails. Yes.
Exactly. Because that's your whole target market right there. And so what you do is you use the emails that you done got to poll the people to see who the people are that are actually worth supporting you. And once you got them people, you understand who you can actually spend your time doing things with, which is why the Discord is such a beautiful place. So after you have people's emails taken, then the next step is to actually make things. So what I'm working on right now is a 20-page sampler of the first thing. And I'm going to just keep making 20-page samplers, and I'm going to put a time code on it. So effectively, things are really cheap in the beginning, which means the actual supporters get it cheap. And then it's really expensive next, so that after the people that got it cheap are like, yo, this is fire, you should check it out. By the time they come to check it out, costs a whole bunch of money. Why? Because he wasn't there in the first place. And that's the way that you bypass all of the nonsense that a lot of people put themselves through. Because when you play the hot girls and fan art game, you freaking burn out. Because a lot of people are drawing things that they don't want to draw and putting up with a lot. Because again, as an artist, this is what you do. As soon as you make a thing where a whole bunch of people repost it and it goes viral and stuff, you got 100 freaking requests. And half them people ain't going to pay you. And the other half of them people going to ask for a whole bunch of things. And
yeah, that's what I was going to say. Then you're going to have 100 people in your DMs inquiring about the wrong thing. Like, you're like, nah, I'm past this at this point. We're moving forward. That's very true.
Yes, I was on freaking. The last time that I posted a drawing that I did on this account, this white man hit me. And he was like, hey, man, I really like your work, buddy. And I was like, don't call me buddy, bro, but thank you. He was like, yeah, it's really amazing. I was wondering if you could draw my wife for me. I was like, yeah, of course I could draw your wife for you, bro. And he was like, cool. And he floods me with all these images. And I assume his wife is making quite the fabulous amount of money on one of these websites where only fans can procure images. And so he's like, yeah, how much would this be? And because you can publicly see people's freaking the amount of fans they have. So if you can publicly see the amount of people's fans that they have, and you know how much a subscription costs, you know how much money they're making in a month. And
right.
And so effectively, I charged the mess out of that white man, and I got it back too. So those are the benefits of existing this way now.
Dang, I never thought about that. You literally can see how many people are following them, and you can see how much. Wow, that's very true.
Quick math. Paladin Band, welcome.
Wait, someone said I need to get on Clubhouse. I'm on Clubhouse.
I found your Clubhouse today. I don't know.
You found my Clubhouse today?
Yeah, because I was looking for anime people that like black anime people, because all the groups I'm in are about like all the groups that I'm in are about like entrepreneurship and stuff, and that's nice. But like I want to talk about cartoons sometimes.
Yeah, so all the people that mainly the people I follow are into stuff like the Black woman revolution stuff like that. So like that's what I see a lot of on Clubhouse and like stuff like that. But I did come across one anime little group yesterday, but they were going in on anime, and I was like, I can't even say anything. I was like, oh, I don't even feel comfortable speaking. Like, but it sounded like all of them watched a ton of anime, but they were like heavily critiquing. One of them said that Naruto was the most overhyped thing they've ever seen, and just going in about how terrible and how poorly written Naruto was. And I was like, I just stayed in the audience. I was like, I'm gonna just listen because, ooh, yikes. What else did someone was saying, dang, they were trying to compare Bleach to another anime, like something that came out recently. I don't know. But yeah, from that, I was like, what does Clubhouse have in store? Sheesh. There was like 50 people in that chat just going in.
Well then, time to risk it all tonight. Are you ready?
So it's time to risk it all. What do you mean?
All right. Tell me about the Black Women Revolution. I want to know about it. I'm curious.
All I gotta say is Black women are in tune and listen to Black women. That is my thing that I preach all day, every day, is listen and have an open mind.
That's actually sensible. Thank you for existing.
It's like the thing is that the thing that I feel like there's a disconnect in the whole culture right now is that people think that Black women are going in right now for like dominance or something like that, or to be something that it's not. Black women right now are trying to aid, trying to uplift and bring people together. Like, that is literally what the mission is. But to do that, we have to aid and uplift ourselves and one another so that we can do that for the whole community. But the end goal is so everyone can feel great and just like, yes, life is great. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the end goal. But right now, the focus is trying to get us together first. But you got people that are like, nah, y'all got to chill out. Like, I don't know what it is. Like, but yes, clap it up.
Thank you for making sense. Thank you for not yelling at people unnecessarily. Thank you for having your concise points and saying them in ways that people can understand.
See, the thing is that it's such a complex thing, and it's really hard to remove your emotion from it. You know what I mean? I feel Black women, I totally do. And I've had my moments of being like, why don't y'all understand? Why don't y'all get, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I've had my moments, but I think once you realize that empathy and compassion is what all of this is rooted in, like, again, trying to uplift, it makes it easier to, like, I was in a group chat, and I'm sure more people have seen it, but I was in a group chat on Clubhouse, and this man was going in on Black women, like going in. And I was like, but for some reason, I've trained myself to be able to hear that stuff and be like, okay, well, he got something going on with him. I don't know what hurt he has, but clearly there's something there that's making him feel this deep mundane hate and disgust. You know what I mean? And then like it's like he said all of that stuff, and then hours later was like, no, I care about Black women. It's like, nah, you're confused. Like, you got something going on. But like I said, I think it takes a lot of self-work though to be able to like to talk about this stuff in like a concise way. Yeah.
Wow.
How do you feel about it, Lee? What are your thoughts?
Before I answer that question, I'm going to save myself some mental time by saying that you have unlocked practical empathy. You can actually use your empathy to make your life and the lives of other people easier. A lot of people don't have that ability. I only unlocked it like 4 months ago, and when I did, it was weird because you didn't know me in these times, luckily. But it used to be a problem. I was holding on by a freaking thread, and as soon as that thread would be let go, life would be horrible for people. I done hurt so many feelings on accident, and then later on purpose, and then back to being on accident of everybody, just because I was freaking out here just trying. I was working through the ideas and problems that I had out loud instead of sitting with myself and contemplating and reflecting on experiences to understand where a lot of these positions and beliefs were coming from. And now that I think that introspection is what you need in order to develop that empathy, because if you don't know how to feel for yourself and determine how you understand you can't really understand people outside of you either.
Right. And when you think, okay, so intelligence and empathy are a difficult duo to coincide with, because to have an open-minded spirit, to really be able to empathize and truly understand where a person is coming from, if what they're saying to you doesn't make sense to you, and if you feel like, you are an intelligent person, you've done the research, you've read, you feel like you are an empathetic person, it's harder to empathize. You have to like almost like shut off your in a way you kind of almost have to shut off your brain. Like, do you get what I'm saying? Like, you have to be like, all right, this is the reality this person lives in. I'm trying to understand where they're coming from, but without placing my judgment in what I think or what I know to be the reality. But that's really my reality.
Exactly. You understand because you've lived it. And unfortunately, it sucks. And this is why I love the people that come to the live, because luckily, stupid people can't stay in this live for a long period. So we have an entire live of freaking people that have, because people think that being smart is just like, yeah, I'm just really good at math. I suck at math. Being smart is being able to look at the world in many different ways and process things at a high level. But just as you can process things at a high level doesn't mean you can feel, because feeling and thinking, as you said, are generally complete opposites, especially in the society that benefits information. I mean, that praises information, but often doesn't praise empathy in the same light. And so, yeah, you're freaking right. Like, you're completely freaking right. And yeah, now that I've had time to mentally buffer enough to actually think about how I was going to respond. I think
okay, but good on you for being able to like buffer and come up with a response, but also say all of that. That was good. All right.
We out here. I've been practicing. I ain't gonna have no repeats of what happened last year. I done came equipped this time.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. Ammunition. How has my dumb making up to this live? Sarah Love, if you were stupid, you would have done left a long time ago. You would have blocked me. You probably would have canceled me too. You would have gone to the delegation of the animated melanin folks and sworn your solemn allegiance, at which point JuasoGraphics.com would have been taken down and reported. It would have been horrible. So no, Sarah Love, unfortunately, you're intelligent. But that's neither here nor there. All right. So I realized this when I was watching the WAP video. It was an amazing philosophical realization.
Okay.
I came to the understanding that for a very long time there has not been power. The concept of fantasy or wish fulfillment was often denied to women socially, outside of either the desire to be a masculine, like dominant, effectively, or B, the desire, like it was very binary, effectively. A lot of these wish fulfillments were binary. So it was like, I want to be protected, or I want to be dominant, or I want to shoot people in the face like I'm the freaking Terminator. But if we're thinking about the fact that women naturally and individuals that have large amounts of yang energy, regardless of gender, that there's a multifacetedness that exists in those individuals. And as such, the fantasy should not be one thing, but instead it should be multifaceted. And I didn't understand this until I was watching the WAP video, that like, if your fantasy is multifaceted, it can adapt to your situation. And that allows you to make more constructive decisions and also gives you more options in your fantasy. So personally, I was very confused the first time I saw Meg Thee Stallion come out and got to see the acclaim that she was getting. And because Lauryn Hill is like the person that I think of when I think like, oh, this is like what a perfect woman looks like. But also, Lauryn Hill is jacked up and Meg is happy. And that confused the mess out of me too. And then I realized it's because Lauryn Hill held herself to the standard of being one thing. Whereas when you look at, and we're not just going to use Meg Thee Stallion as an example, because there's a lot of other amazing women that have existed throughout time that have held these positions. There's a Haitian woman named Bayana Bello, who's a historian and a professor. There's Maya Angelou. There's Nikki Giovanni. There's these individuals who sink into their multifacetedness and become loved for their multifacetedness. And I didn't understand what it was like to have a multifaceted hero until I started looking at the lens of all of these women that have become living legends effectively, and how all of them are multifaceted in their existence. All the ones that just do one thing, they end up really jacked up, especially after their identity is questioned as one thing, they end up really jacked up. Whereas everyone else, because they're multifaceted, once one side of their identity is attacked, they just go to another side of their identity because they're whole people. They're not just one thing.
Right. And what's sad is I feel like even with like Lauryn Hill and different artists, a lot of times these artists, I mean, you know, I wasn't in the room, but I'm sure a lot of times these artists, women, are put into these pockets though and forced to stay there and aren't allowed to show their multifacetedness. Like, I feel like Megan Thee Stallion is allowed to be who she is. And I mean, I love Megan Thee Stallion. Okay. That is my girl. One of my favorite artists for sure. But we don't have to go all the way deep into colorism, but she is, you know, she's a brown skinned woman for sure, but she's on the, you know, lighter spectrum of brown skin. And I feel like she is allowed to have this multifaceted personality, career. And I feel like Lauryn Hill, once she came out as Lauryn Hill, she was going to have to be Lauryn Hill. Like, I don't think the music industry, I don't think people would have allowed her to do anything else. But I'm glad though that you got this lesson from WAP. I'm happy to hear that you're able to see that video and really have some thoughts about it. That was good.
I was forced to. It all started because the trip that I took to get there, I walked into the house and there was a stripper pole. And the lady that I was staying with and her roommate were there. And so she was like, yeah, this is my pole. I'm looking at it, and I'm really strong. Like, I train a lot, so I'm really strong. There's a move called the human flag where you hold on to a pole and then your legs are like straight out that way. So
yeah, your body's like horizontal or whatever.
Exactly. So I'm like, you know what? Nobody's filming this. Let me go try this real quick.
So let me play around real quick.
Let me have some fun on this pole. And so I walked up to it and I put my hands in position and I took a deep breath in and I went up and I made it to like 20 degrees, 45 degrees. And then when I hit 85, I went for 90 and I felt like somebody force choked me. Like, I just like crashed. And then I'm freaking watching the twerk video by City Girls, and they laughing. They not sweating or nothing. They covered in freaking oil. They ain't got no chalk or nothing. And they just spinning around doing all types of crazy moves. And I developed, so my mind had opened to like, as opposed to the objects that they are in 50 Cent videos, these people are like athletes. Let's see what happens if I think about some of these people as freaking athletes. And then the that entire previous line of thought came into effect.
That was good. That was good. That is exactly, that is honestly what we want. And I say we, I mean all Black women. Like, I feel like, okay, taking something like the WAP music video, right? Like you said, a complete fantasy is allowed to be multifaceted. You can want, it doesn't have to be the binary of like, even simple as I want to be the dominator or I want to be, what is the opposite of dominant right now? I can't even think.
Submissive?
Yes, submissive. Either it's not just, dominant or submissive. And I feel like even in the lyrics, the video, all of it in WAP is showing that you can be a dominant person and also be submissive at the same time, depending on situationally, depending on how you're feeling on the day. And I feel like as Black women, we are 100% forced to either be dominant, like either you are, like it's like someone like, I'm trying to think of a rapper, like the City Girls or something like that. Either they're seen as super dominant, or someone like Janae Aiko, her construe or her thing is a little bit more like, submissive, and like that's her thing. And I really appreciate when artists, especially Black women, are allowed to tap their toe into all of the pools, because that is how we feel. No woman is ever like, yeah, I'm a hot girl, I'm a city girl, all the time. Like, no, there's just no way. You know what I'm saying? Even like the women that are portrayed in the media or just in life, even women that that you think are like sweet or, more docile, kind, whatever the words you want to use, they're not like that all the time. They're not like that all the time. And 9 times out of 10, those women might be putting that on to be more like, to be more digestible to the world. So to be able to watch the WAP video and see it for more than what it is, like not just like women showing off their bodies, like, but to even understand the work that goes into having a body that looks like that, or the strength that it takes to be able to do these tricks on a pole while still holding your face, staying in character, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that is good. I just wish more men were like able to open their minds up to at least see that. Because to a lot of men, it ain't that at all. It's literally just like, yeah, you saw the WAP video? Yeah, that was like, but it can also be like, yes, you should enjoy the stature of this woman because she worked hard on her body and she looks amazing. Like, yeah, kudos to you, girl. Like, you look good. But also see the like meaning behind it and take it for more than just the body being on display. And that concludes my TED Talk. This was good. I feel like we went over so many topics in this live.
Welcome to the Juaso Live. That's what happens.
Yes. You said, welcome to the Juaso Live. Someone said earlier, if Normani is allowed to be multifaceted, or Sour Love said that. I mean, allowed is a funny word, because personally, my feelings toward Normani is that I think that she would be a mega star if she was. I just don't think her team is doing her well. She's a great singer. She's a great dancer. Everything about her is bomb. She's just lit. There's just no reason why she shouldn't be bigger than she is. I think she's big because Black women did their job in bolstering her. She's not big because, men are listening to her. It's really Black women that are like pushing Normani forward. So yeah, that's all I got to say about Normani. Love her though. She's great. I wish she was I wish she was bigger than she is. I think she's gonna get there though. She's young. Everybody's young. We all young. There's time.
Oh, indeed. I mean, if Normani wants the internet, because colorism is always an interesting thing for me to think about now, having done as much traveling and study as I have, and having so much cultural context is. Because despite all the things that I know now, colorism is still a huge factor that takes itself as play when you want to play on the world stage because of palatability. And I find a difficult time trying to think of anyone that beats the beef patty test that is on the world stage. And they always get like, you know what a beef patty is, right?
Do I know what a beef patty is?
Yeah.
What you mean? Like a beef patty?
Like a patty.
Oh, is it like a Caribbean dish?
Yes.
Okay, yes. I've never had one, but I know what it is. Yeah.
So you know how a beef patty is like exactly brown enough to be yellow?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. That's when you said at first when you said beef patty, I was like, beef patties are pretty brown. But I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about. Yes, yes. Yes.
yeah. So like anytime that I think about any like the brownness of a beef patty is exactly how brown you can be with like what, because again I look at like a lot of the people in this era. I think of like Georgia Smith, I think of Summer Walker. I'm running out of people because I don't listen to R&B, but regardless, there's not a lot of people who's passing that test, and I didn't realize. But it's also weird because like I honestly think there's a bit of social fetishization involved in it, especially in regards to people pinpointing the exact countries that people come from, be it like Nigeria or Sudan or whatever. But there seems to be a social desire to fetishize incredibly dark skin and natural hair. Well, yeah, dark skin and natural hair, while at the same time not providing opportunities to people, and that confuses.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Like Tumblr culture. I don't know if you ever were deep on Tumblr, but Tumblr was literally all like it would be days where my feed would be chocolate women oiled up. Like all images of chocolate women oiled up. And that is a huge issue. Like it is totally fetishized, like 100%. But the opportunity, like you said, is not there. Like the actual bolstering, like it's more than just the compliment. There needs to be more put in place under it. But man, it's just like country to country, place to place. Colorism is such a thick topic, and it's so ingrained in us. It's so ingrained in us. I met so many men in college who were like so team like, ooh, colorism does not affect me. Like, that whole thing. And I'm like, oh, it doesn't? Okay. Like, what are you talking about? It literally, we all have it. We all have that lens. We all have that standard. Like, I don't know. And accepting that it's there, no matter like where you come from, I think is the first step. And most people, we can't even get there. We can't even get there. But yeah, I don't have the answers for that one. That is the one that it haunts me. Talking about haunts me. I'm so dramatic. But that is the thing that it's just so sad to me. The whole, Andre 3000's romper, like across cultures. Do you know what I'm talking about? How Andre 3000 wore all them rompers with the messages on there?
Yeah.
And the one that was like across cultures, dark people suffer most. And I mean, yeah, it's so true. How do we fix something like that is so deeply ingrained, regardless of what culture you come from?
It's weird, and it's even crazier now because like I'm growing into certain cultural positions, and I'm also a big fan of self-sabotage for survival, and so I'm hitting a freaking what's the word, snap, a terminal velocity where like I'm attaining too much of an audience not to say and do certain things, but at the same time I can stop stupid people from doing stupid things under my watch because it's at a manageable degree, and I know how to like manage people. And so even with like something as simple as the images that I post or the people that I repost, I try very, very hard to like show the darkest people possible on my page at all times. But no matter what I try to do, either A, I'll get shown so much love by the people that I'm not trying to give stuff to, or B, I'll post something and it won't do well. And then when I was told that the algorithm purposely doesn't show dark-skinned people, I was shook. Like, they legit coded that. Somebody had the audacity to put that into a computer.
And how do you combat that? That's what I'm saying. Like, that's the thing. Like, what are you supposed to do? Like, that's why capitalism, again, we don't have to go too deep down that rabbit hole, but again, like, capitalism is the devil, because you are, like, as an artist, your job is to get people to want your stuff, right? And you're saying, okay, the algorithm literally won't show my stuff to people if I don't show, or if I'm not representing this certain demographic, or if I am representing this demographic, my work is not going to do as well as it should be doing. So you have to, like, rely on your audience to see what you're doing, love that you're doing it, and, like, bolster you for you. But it's tough. It's tough. Trust me, I understand. But so, okay, so what have you, okay, so where do you stand on that, though? Like, what are you doing, like, moving forward? Oh, I also wanted to say, though, that, because I thought you were originally going to say that people have something to say regardless of what you do. And I was going to say, like, people are going to have something to say. And I think as long as you're posting content that you believe in and that you is giving the message that you want to send, ignore all the other stuff, because people are going to have something to say, like, regardless. If you post, you know, dark-skinned people, somebody who's super light-skinned might be like, what is this? You know what I mean? Like, now you're being like, someone's always going to have something to say. But yeah, but I was going to ask, where are you at right now? Like, in terms of what you're posting, like, are you still going that route, or are you, like, having thoughts of, like, okay, maybe I need to chill on that? Like, where are you at?
I read The Art of War by Sun Tzu. And what The Art of War by Sun Tzu says is, it takes more effort and energy and work for you to completely prepare for war and bring all this food with you to war, when you can just go to your enemy and take them over, and then take their food and your soldiers regardless. And you can use that energy to do better in war. So the enemy's tactic is hot girls, fan art, and stuff that works on Instagram. So I'm giving people hot girls, fan art, and stuff that works on Instagram. But when you come to the live, you have conversations like this. When you go to the website, we have conversations like we will on the website. When you come to the podcast, we'll have conversations like we do. So that way, the people that legitimately want it are going to get it. And that's the people that I want. I want the people that legitimately want it. The people that come for clout serve their purpose because they become numbers. And those numbers are used to pull in investors. So there's a dude named Guy. And Guy is like one of the legends of the live. Like, he's up there with Sour Love. And Guy is Liberian. And the reason I have an African accent is because I used to be around Liberians a lot. And so we were talking about, like, how people take Chinese money in Africa, and being from the Afrocentric lens, like, Afrocentric Black people, we don't want to take anything from the white man. We want to be, like, completely self-sustained and stuff. But Africans realize that there are certain problems that are ingrained, that in order to solve those problems generationally, you have to accept outside help and then reappropriate those resources, things that get made in the future. And so I'll take these, because also, like, I have senseis, and these senseis be taking money from the white man. And I was shook at first, because I equate that money being used to control you. But they use that money to make projects so that if they ever lose the backing of those people, they'll still be good. And now that I know what they're doing, I'm doing that as well. So effectively, on the surface level, I'm doing basic Instagram things, but the deeper level is for the people that understand, who are also smaller, for those people to make sure they get what they need and support each other sustainably under the table, while all the fancy little frilly stuff happens on top.
And are you on Clubhouse? You need to, I'm saying that because that little tidbit is so important. What you just said, that little 2 minutes, that's so important. And you need to start a Clubhouse, and you need to say all of that in the chat. And the title needs to be how to be authentic on Instagram, but also beat the algorithm.
That.
That was legit.
Well, you want to make a room?
Do you want to make a room? We should totally make a room. But what I tell you, Clubhouse will suck you in. Like, Clubhouse, well, people be on Clubhouse for like 10 hours at a time. And I'm like, y'all, I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. Do you have Clubhouse?
I have it, yeah.
I'm going to add you on Clubhouse. Did you add me on Clubhouse?
I think I did. I don't know if following and adding are two different things.
Okay, yeah. I see I'm a grandma. It's follow. It's called follow.
Hey, this ain't Facebook out here. We know things sometimes.
I still be saying, like, I can't lie. When I started, like, being more on Instagram, I would say so-and-so added me. And my friend would be like, added you? I'm like, yeah, what you talking about? Oh, followed. Yes, they followed me. But yes, if I didn't follow you back, I'm gonna go follow you back. Clubhouse, it draws you in, but we should totally do that. It's gonna be you talking though. It's gonna be you. I will be there to tell people to shh. But oh my gosh, that is so hilarious.
Oh, yeah. Hey, as long as you got these fire questions, it's lit. Slim Jones told me to read the Book of Fire. Oh, you mean the Godin show? Yeah, I read the freaking Godin show. It's amazing. I read the Book of Fire Rings before I read the Art of War, and it changed my life and also made me very good at using the sword. It's beautiful.
I went through a phase where I was really trying. I tried to read The Art of War. I couldn't get into it. I couldn't. I need to. I think I need that to arm myself. I need that for life. What is Five Rings though?
Okay, so you understand the concept of samurai, right?
Yeah.
You understand the concept of ninja, right?
Yes.
You understand the concept of a ronin?
Isn't a ronin like a disgraced samurai or something like that? Or is it?
A ronin is a samurai without a master.
Oh, okay.
And because of that, when you don't have a master, you don't have any house above you. And so all your actions are on you. All your beefs are on you. Your reputation is on you as well. And so Miyamoto Musashi is the greatest swordsman that ever lived. And when he was 17 years old, he left for the Battle of Sekigahara, which is equivalent to like the Civil War. 5,000 people died in one day at the Battle of Sekigahara. And he went there for fun. So then after he left the freaking Battle of Sekigahara, he was like, you know what? These people are freaking weak. I'm going to go travel the world and fight people. And he did that for 20 years with a wooden sword, knocking people out, absolutely destroying people. And so Miyamoto Musashi eventually became the person that he is, and he settled down. He invented dual wielding. He's the person that invented dual wielding Japanese swords. And yeah.
Who is this? What's his name?
Miyamoto Musashi. There's a manga called Vagabond. If you read Vagabond, you'll understand how freaking amazing he is. And so the Book of Five Rings was written by him. It's how to be a Ronin. And it tells you literally everything you need to do to conquer yourself. Because once you can conquer yourself, you can conquer your enemy. But he does it backwards. So instead, you learn all the ways you can conquer your enemy. And then at the end, you learn how to conquer yourself. Because if you understand how to beat your enemy, you know how your enemy wants to beat you. If you understand how your enemy wants to beat you, then you view yourself from outside of yourself. And if you do that, then you enter the void. And the void is like the last. So there's 5 books. The 5th book is the Book of the Void. And that's effectively your mind. And it's great.
Okay. Do I read Art of War before this?
No, Art of War is. I'm not going to say the Art of War is trash. The Book of Five Rings is shorter, smarter, and more usable. Cause legit, the Book of the Art of War is like when the 5th hawk crows, you must strike to the east so that your arrows fly straight. Whereas Miyamoto Musashi is like throw some dust in their eye and jab them in the nose.
Okay.
Book of Five Rings
is with that.
Rurouni
I'm rocking with that.
Oh, indeed. Chelsea said Rurouni Kenshin is also a great manga about a samurai. It's about a Ronin, Chelsea. But yes, Rurouni Kenshin is about a Ronin who used to be a samurai, and then he was out here doing some craziness and got disgraced, and that's why he be wandering the world now.
What's the guy's name in Samurai Champloo?
Jin is also a Ronin.
He was, I was gonna say he was a Ronin, wasn't he?
Yes.
You out here educating people over here. You are educating.
I mean, I try. I'm trying to let none of these famous people know. You got your nails done, Serene?
I got acrylics.
You got acrylics?
Acrylics.
Why are they?
Because it's like hard, but it's not.
Girl, be careful with them acrylics.
Oh, they're like
the
little acrylics. This is nice.
They're not acrylics.
I appreciate
It's dip powder.
Dip powder?
Oh, dip powder.
Yeah.
You see, is this your sister?
Yes, this is Serene.
Hi, Serene.
Hi.
You need to do whatever she tells you to do.
She won't follow that one.
Wait, what did she say? Shemaine was laughing so hard.
She said you need to do whatever I tell you to do.
No. I said you need to do whatever she tells you to do.
Wow, that's even worse.
Oh, really? Oh, I don't tell you to do anything.
I'm telling you, I recognize powerful black women when I see it.
Your hair.
Wow. Okay, Serene, I'll make sure that.
And take care of yourself in general instead of just not doing anything all day except being funny.
Okay, Serene.
Do you hear the care in which she's saying? Like, she's like, she cares about you. Do you hear that? She's like, take care of yourself.
I don't. I hear sarcasm.
Sarcasm?
And the other phone that is precariously balanced below my phone. Well, a whole person is on FaceTime just being left alone by themselves.
Shemaine.
Wow, you said just? That's crazy.
It's not like it's someone I'd need to try to impress. That's what I mean by it's just Shemaine.
Unbelievable, Serene.
That means that she's so good that I don't feel like I need to impress her.
Really now?
Ani's on the live.
I am on the live. Princessa says, hey.
Hi? Oh, hi, Judge.
Someone says Serene's gonna take over the world.
She is.
I agree. That's why I say you need to listen to her.
Yeah, it's like super hard.
This is. Avatar says your hair looks cute.
Thank you. I got it done yesterday. Yeah.
Both Serene and Anime Nay got a whole mane.
Okay.
I'm jealous.
Right, let's go. I'm sorry.
What you say?
You got a whole mane. What concoction of castor oil got you to this?
No. Okay. I always play around with people and I'm like, I'm gonna drop the regimen, y'all. But truly, I will tell you, I don't do anything. Like I can't lie to you. Like there's no special thing that I do.
Like the one that you've been talking about that you needed for water.
I drink a decent amount of water. I don't even drink that much water. I can't even lie to you and be like, water. Like I don't even know. I don't know. I think it's okay. I can't even believe I'm about to admit this, but like, how often do you wash your hair?
Like once every 2 weeks.
Okay. See, I feel like if you wash your hair once a week, that's not the way to do it. But there are people, like, I feel like the longer you let your oils and everything sit in your hair, the more it's gonna grow. So like, I wash my hair like once every 3 weeks.
I see. And is there like some bonnet action? Or like
yeah, but I can't even lie to you on that one. Sometimes I fall asleep and I wake up at like 4 a.m. with no bonnet on. But I really try to bonnet it out. I moisturize my hair every day. Okay, I have a regimen. I do. But I think you just have to find products and stuff that work with your hair. Like not everything is. How long have you been growing your hair out?
2 years. My hair is like super matted, but it comes down to my cheek.
Yeah, your hair. I can tell your hair is long. Yeah. Yeah. It's just about the product and stuff too. It takes time to find. It's annoying trying to figure out your hair, but kudos to y'all. Every time I see a man that's like growing out their hair and going for that, I'm like, kudos to you, because I cut all my hair. At one point, I had a fade. Like I didn't have any hair.
Wow.
I had a fade. I was done. I was over it. Yeah, that was like 2.5 years ago, 3 years ago. So yeah, kudos to you. What you be using in your hair? What product line?
So, I don't know if you know Avatar. Do you know Avatar?
Avatar, like the last Airbender?
Avatar, like Avatar She. Oh, well, the short version is there are two Black Ninja clans. There's one Black Ninja clan, and then there's a second Black Ninja clan. I am in both. Avatar is in one of them. And people be out here doing martial arts and applying shea butter. It's a great existence. And so Avatar put me on to Shea Moisture. And so I've been utilizing Shea Moisture, learned how to twist my hair and how to moisturize properly. She taught me how to wear a do-rag. Life is good.
Life is good. That's what you need. I was gonna say Shea Moisture. That's my favorite product. And I feel like Shea Moisture has something for anybody's type of hair. Talking about life is good. They talking about, yes, you gotta moisturize. I think the most important things are moisturizing and protecting your hair. Bonnet, put that bonnet on. You gotta wear a do-rag, put the do-rag on. Do whatever you need. Protect those ends. And just keep your hair moisturized. I mean, and it sounds easier than it is. I be struggling too. I be struggling. Like sometimes I am like, how is my hair growing at all right now? But
because you're Rapunzel.
so
Have you seen this woman's hair? See, look at how much hair she had.
I know. I thought I was on live a while ago,
this long.
and my mom was on, and she's like, "All I see in the screen is your hair, Lene. Back up." And I was like, "I can't help it. Like I'm trying. I can't." Come on, Lene, back up. All I see is hair. I'm cracking up. Well, first off, okay, before I go, can you tell me how to correctly pronounce?
Yes. Okay. The name given to me by my parents it is Lee Juaso. Juaso. So
Juaso.
Yes. I mean, yeah, Juaso. There we are. America. Power
I wasn't about to do the accent. See, I wasn't about to do the accent. I was like, okay, so what you said was Juaso. Okay.
Yes, yes.
You don't even want to know what I've been saying. You don't even want to know.
Was it Juaso?
Basically, dang near. Dang near.
People be thinking I'm freaking Spanish. They be saying it like it come with salsa and chips on it, but it's all good. Yeah.
Yeah, and one time you were on live speaking Spanish, and I was like, maybe it is that. I was like, okay, so maybe it is that. I'm cracking up. Okay, well, I'm saying it here first. I have something coming out that involves you. Not gonna say what it is.
But you're so cute.
But just be on the lookout for it. I wasn't gonna say nothing, but I can't hold water. I'm not gonna tell you what it is though, but just be on the lookout. It's gonna be really cool. Yeah, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. No, it's gonna be a surprise. And like two-ish.
What are you talking about?
You'll see.
Yeah, you'll see. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great.
What? I'm so confused.
Well, this is good.
Yeah. But okay. This was so fun. I haven't eaten. I'm about to go eat. I didn't want to eat in front of the people. But thank you for talking to me. I'm about to follow you on Clubhouse. We're going to get that shot going because all the things you said are very important. Serene, you're about to rule the world. Don't let nobody tell you can't, because you can.
Lonnie, be quiet. Stop. Go eat.
He doesn't have food.
Then go look at your...
Blessings to you. Thank you for coming to the live.
You really made him run around.
Anytime.
But you're here with us. And for that, I'm greatly appreciative. Thank you for being so
No, anytime. I'm going to hop on again when I see you on.
Made the mistake of attacking a martial artist, Serene. That was a bad move. All right, goodbye.
All right, I'll see y'all.